to feed the baby, the top-ups, follow-up clinic when you'll be expected to be seen. We look at those who have social challenges, and then we get them to have social help. They need to name somebody and bring the person to the clinic to assist them. They are also taught all these things before you are discharged. For our teenage mothers, we ensure we talk to them, we talk to their social support team to ensure that they also get some form of family planning before they are discharged from the hospital. And then we ensure the public health nurses and social welfare continues to do the follow-up. We also have a phone that the nurses use to do follow-up, so that anybody who misses their appointments, we are able to get them, call them, find out. There have been situations where we have found out that people are not coming to the clinic, or they'll not be able to come, or didn't come because of transportation issues. And people have come in to help, send them some money to be able to get transportation and then come in. So that's what the patient adaptation is, and that is what the nurses do. Consultation is done in an open space. From the diagram, you saw the big space that was there, so that they can see each other. So if you are a new person coming in, you can see the person who is like 6 months old, and then they are encouraged to share their stories to each other, so that they are encouraged, and then we call it the peer support. They give peer support to each other. Then we have the group therapy, where we do education and counseling, and then it is done. Like I said, we do not separate them. They are all together. The small ones, those who are almost a year old, those who are yet to graduate. And this one, the group therapy sessions, is actually championed by the psychologist. And then the weighing and vaccination is done by the public health nurses, who have been given a place at the KMC clinic, where they come in on our clinic days to vaccinate anybody, so that no one misses out on vaccination. Social welfare remains a vital component of our success. I remember one particular patient, a teenager who was missing her appointments. They followed up, saw that the baby was malnourished, had severe acute malnutrition, was brought in. We took care of the baby. Social welfare went back, found that the place, she was just living in a mud house in someone's kitchen. So they followed up. They found out that there was a relative who had better housing and could support this baby Richardson. And then finally they were able to relocate her. We followed up, and baby is continually doing well. So that is they are so vital to us. Sometimes they come in with support, clothing, diapers, wipe, and we are very, very grateful. Without them, we cannot handle the clinic by ourselves. Next slide, please. May I please have the next slide? Okay, so the psychology unit is also a very vital component of Kangaroo Mother Care Clinic. They assess the cognitive and developmental performance of the babies, and it is done at the 6th month and the 12th month corrected age. So if a baby passes the 12-month assessment, then they are graduated from the clinic. And then we have, they also assess and manage conditions such as depression, anxiety, marital distress, all of that among the mothers, the caregivers, or the parents who are coming to the clinic. And then like I said before, they champion the group therapy sessions for the babies and their families to help with any clinical or psychosocial problems. Next slide. So we have seen attendance increase as more babies are surviving. The group session education and counseling has helped improve the numbers at the clinic as well. Sometimes some people are not scheduled to come, but they come in just because they want to listen to what is happening at the group counseling session. And it's a very good session. Sometimes you make the house officers also sit in, or the rotation nurses to also sit in to listen, because it's a way to learn and get educated about what goes on in the clinic, and what the parents, they are encouraged to share. So you learn a lot about the perspective from the clinician, and also from the nurses, and also from the patients as well. Clinic also starts very, very early, ensuring that mothers are not unnecessarily delayed. This came about when we realized that the clinic was increasing, and sometimes they were kept beyond 4 p.m. So we altered the time and took a team So now we have a team that starts the clinic. They don't need to go to the NICU before coming to work. They start immediately, they come to work, they go to the KFC clinic, and then they start working so that the patients are not unnecessarily delayed. Next slide. So we also take contacts of parents, and we call to remind them of their clinic appointments. And then the public health nurses ensure anyone who misses an appointment is followed up to find out what is happening. And I must say that once during such follow-up, we realized that a baby we had taken very good care of was delivered to an early primate. She hadn't showed up for her appointment. The following clinic appointment was just 2 days apart. She also did not show up. So we followed up, we called and found out that the baby had died. And we were all very surprised at the NICU, and we wanted to know what had happened. Unfortunately, when she got back home, she said they were stressing her so much about it that the baby had ashram. And so they went ahead, they took the baby away from her and went in, did some herbal preparations, and baby died immediately. I think about 2 days after she was discharged, they continued to do the therapy, putting some there, and baby died. We brought her in, did some counseling for her and everything. And so we made sure that now if you are discharged from the NICU, your nurse, so if we discharge you, the clinic is run on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if we discharge you on Tuesday, by all means, you are coming to the clinic on Friday, so that some of these things you are able to pick up. And then those who live far off, we are able to call and check up on them, make sure that they understand and no one is giving them unnecessary pressure. And we keep telling them that if you go to the house and you are pressured, just give us a call. We have a NICU phone that they can call in. You call in, and then we'll send the public health team to your end and ensure that no one is pressurizing them to do anything against their will. Next slide. So our growth, we saw that for each, we just keep increasing. And then even though we saw about 900 cases last year, by mid-year in 2021, we had 1,143 attendants at our clinic, with 180 of them being new cases. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Please, can we move on to the next slide? Okay, so the next one is our photo gallery of our graduation, where we have, you see Dr. Emmanuel Amwa in the middle. He was one of the first pediatricians handing over someone's graduation certificate. So usually we give you a certificate of graduation, and then we give you a small gift, a hamper containing some diapers, wipes, some clothes, and other sweet things for them. And then we see our psychologist, Dr. Jacob Safo, by Dr. Amwa. Next slide. Yes, we also see another pediatrician, Dr. Henrietta Taylor, also handing out another certificate to someone. And those in white are KMC nurses. We have Nurse Anita there, and then we have Dr. We have our psychologist as well, also assisting. Graduation days are very, very happy days for us. The next slide. Okay, so the rest are all photo galleries of some of the graduation ceremonies we've had over the years. Now, Kangaroo Mother Care Center, as we set up in the Eastern region, is not only to take care of the patients, but also to train other centers to do that. So we are the center that was training them. And in the Eastern region alone, we set up 5 centers. We had in Sanwem, Akwetia, in Koko, and Donkokrum. Donkokrum is is beyond the river. And so it was very, very vital for us to set up another clinic at Donkokrum. That was to prevent people who cross the river to come to the part of the region to also have access. So we trained the nurses, we trained everybody else, and then we set up a kangaroo mother care WhatsApp group, which is made up of all the specialists, the nurse specialists. We have Cynthia there who coordinates most of the affairs on the page. So the WhatsApp page is supposed to, and then it's just the specialist and then the patient. So all the patients are up on the WhatsApp group, and we share information, you can ask questions, you get answers. And our neonatal nurse Cynthia has been up and standing there. She's always there checking up on the patients and everything. And the WhatsApp group has really, really been helpful. We also have in Koko, we have our pediatricians there. We have Dr. Genevieve Seidu, who also doubles up and has started a mini clinic at Kwewu. So between Nkoko and Kwewu, we have mini centers that are there and functioning. We call those places partial functioning clinics, mainly because they do not have a resident psychologist who actually does the psychological part of the assessment, but they are getting some also done. And then we set up one at Sunhum, which broke down when some of the staff left, but we still have, we plan on reviving it very soon. And then we also have another center at Akwetia. We know that in the country, we have Kolebu is doing well, and we know Konfanochi too has a very, very sound kangaroo mother care clinic that is running. We hope that we have actually developed a new protocol whereby we are going to start retraining some centers outside the region, so that at least in every region, we are going to have one kangaroo mother care center, which will cater for the preterms. One thing that has helped us as a region with these centers is that when a patient is at Koforidua Regional Hospital and they live close to Insawam, all we need to do is refer the patient to the Insawam Kangaroo Mother Care Clinic, and then they can continue their clinic there without necessarily having to travel all the way down to the regional hospital for their follow-up visit. So we send cases to Nkoko, Insawam, Donkokrom, and also Tetekwashi. We have started a very small partial kangaroo mother care center running over there. Next slide, please. So we have another photo gallery for next slide of our other centers where we have them doing well. Next slide, please. You can see on the right side, Dr. Lecha at Insawam. Now, this is one beautiful picture. You see our mother here with her two babies practicing kangaroo mother care, and then the babies all grown up and then enjoying some bitter malts there and having a lot of fun. That tells you the power of the kangaroo mother care clinic that we are running. Okay. So the rest is that everybody is involved. If you are in the region and you are in the neonatal care unit or you are part of the pediatric team, you are involved in the kangaroo mother care. As a house officer, I always say that if you don't know how to tie your kangaroo mother care cloth, then you cannot be signed out of the department, because it's a vital component of ensuring that the babies are doing well. And we know that if a house officer should pass through and becomes a medical soup somewhere, he would be up and help with the setting up of kangaroo mother care clinic. So it's teamwork and everybody gets involved. Now, one challenge that we had was between 2019 and 2020, when we lost about 70% of our patients seen and discharged on the ward to follow up. Now, this was because COVID-19 was way up there and patients were scared to come in, and also they were not physically coming in. And we actually hold half yearly audits. So it was during our audits that we realized that we had lost quite a number of the patients. And so we went back to the drawing board and got our public health nurses, our social welfare nurses to also come in and help us get these patients back. And by God's grace, we were able to enroll most of them back into the clinic, which is the reason why we saw such a very high spike in the numbers in 2020 mid-year assessments. So the way forward for us is to create more centers and strengthen the networks within the region and also in the country. Now in the region, at least we have a communication center, we have the WhatsApp group, we have the centers, and we are going to create more centers as we get more pediatricians into the region. But our focus is to train more people outside the region. And that is why we have come out with a new proposal, which will ensure that we get to train some people. We ask that you bring quite a number of them. If you can get a psychologist, 2 nurses, we have a medical officer as part of them to do the 2 weeks training. And after we are done, we will follow up to help you set up at your place. The main thing is not to take any new thing, but we are going to work with what you have in your facility and ensure that you set up the Kangaroo Mother Care Clinic. And so we also need to liaise. We've been liaising with ENT and ophthalmology units to give priority to our patients, so that as soon as you see a small baby coming in, you pave way for them to come. They see them first so that they don't wait. And then we continue to strengthen the support system we have already created for our mothers. We thank our medical director and the hospital management for their immense support in all the things that we have been doing. And special regards goes to our previous medical director, Dr. Kwame Nimbuama, and his management team for making sure that the center was done in the hospital and for giving support where needed. We also thank our social welfare units for being highly supportive in cases with social issues, and then all the staff in the department for their support. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Jemfi, for taking us through the journey of how you started your KMC clinic at the Eastern Regional Hospital. I'm sure we picked a lot of points from it to strengthen our KMC clinics or to set up where we Yes, so thank you very much for what you have shared. We would all pick a lot of points from it. And as I said earlier on, we have
Hi, Gloria. I think you are muted.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes. So thank you so much, Dr. James. We really enjoyed it, and I'm sure we picked a lot of points from it. And I'm hoping that we can, in the next year, we'll be able to do a lot at our KMC clinics. And then also be able to have more graduation ceremonies. I really, really like that one. And the better mouth that those twins were sharing. Very lovely picture there. As we promised you, we have some suppliers of CPAP. There are some facilities that have money. They want to get CPAP for their preterms with respiratory distress, but don't know where to go for the CPAP, don't know of any other payment plans that are available for those who don't have all their monies ready. So we have Mr. Albert Ankra, who is the CEO of Dolphin CPAP. He will be giving us a presentation on what he has, the type of CPAP he has, his payment plan and all that. So we'll listen to him. After that, we'll have another presentation by the country rep for the Pumani CPAP. So Mr. Albert Ankra, you have the floor.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Right, thank you very much to the organizers for this opportunity. And I'm given to understand that we have just about 10 minutes to do this presentation. So I'll be very snappy with it. I will leave the presentation with the organizers. Anybody who would need it can be sent to you because obviously 10 minutes is a very short time to be able to digest everything. So I'll just go straight to the key essentials of our equipment. Please, let's go to the next slide. Please, let's go to the next slide. Okay. By way of introduction, our company is Africa Health Supplies Limited, and we are assemblers and manufacturers, distributors of neonatal equipment. And so one of our very recognizable equipment is the Firefly phototherapy machine, of course, as well as the Colibri phototherapy machine. But I'm also happy to indicate that for some few years now, we've been introducing our Dolphin CPAP to the Ghanaian market, and some few hospitals currently have our equipment in Ghana. I can make mention of Hohoi Municipal Hospital, SNIT, Mother and Child Hospital in Osu, as well as Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Ridge. So basically, the context of this presentation, I'll basically be touching briefly on types of CPAP machines, the benefits of the bubble CPAP, user manuals, and then maintenance and reprocessing. But we wouldn't have a lot of time to go into that. So I'll just pretty much be touching on the essentials of this CPAP, as well as payment arrangement that we have currently on the market for this. So please let's go to the next slide. Okay, so pretty much you are looking at a photograph of how our CPAP looks like, and then how it works perfectly well to save the lives of babies. As you would know, bubble CPAP is for neonatal patients who require respiratory support, as we are in the business of saving the lives of our neonates. Please let's go to the next slide. Okay, I think this slide pretty much gives an overview of what the main issues are, and you are clinicians, so I know that you have the facts definitely on your fingertips. I mean, the top cases of newborn deaths and stillbirth. You are looking at prematurity, complications during birth, as well as severe infections. Please let's go to the next slide. If you can, please jump to slide 15, so I can talk about the CPAP and its features. So while she gets to that point, I'll be giving a quick overview of the CPAP. So a CPAP is 100% reusable and cleanable. It also comes in a complete CPAP treatment and monitoring device. It has integrated design, which includes gas mixing, humidification, PEP chamber, air compressor, and pulse oximeter, all in one compact unit. In fact, the underlying objective for designing our equipment is to ensure that it is user-friendly, it is very easy to operate, and with little or no supervision. Once you are taken through the operation, how it works, is very easy to put it on, switch it off, clean it, and then go on with it. So the PEP and then the CPAP, it's an innovative design for safe and easy adjustment. It's easily visible at the front of the unit. Now, there is one major issue that clinicians or users always bring up, which is the issue of the gas mixing. Our equipment does electronic mixing for easy, independent and adjustment of flow rates, and also the F102. It's also directly set F102, no calculations or tables. It's very, very easy to configure and then use. Internal regulator also allows for safe connection to a variety of oxygen sources. And so you can plug it to the centralized AC, or you can use it directly with a mobile chamber, Then we also have, it comes with a humidifier. It automatically refills for 3 days continuous operation. It has small heated volumes for quick warming up. It has a heating, it's a heater that power automatically adjusted to maintain correct humidity and minimize rainouts. I also want to talk about the aspects also of the pulse oximeter. So it's a pulse oximetry integrated into the device. Our brand is Massimo Set, technology for accurate, reliable, robust measurements. And it's also very simple user interface and alarm settings. No multi-level menus or complicated button sequencing. And of course, I made mention earlier about the air compressor. It's integrated air compressor, which means there's no need for an external air source, completely integrated, no messy external wires. I'm sorry?
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, all right. I was getting some other feedback. Okay, so I will quickly talk about the performance specification, which also makes for easy accessibility. So I've indicated the type of CPAP we have is a bubble type. It has a pressure range of from 0 to about 10 centimeters. And gas mixing, I also talked about that. Is electronic oxygen percentage. Air compressor, yes, you have the lower power supply integrated. It's a normal 12 volts, so it can fit in perfectly. The gas supply, I indicated, it's able to work on all gas, supply sources. I think that this is the basic uniqueness or the tenets about the MTTS Dolphin CPAP. I think the last bit I want to talk about before I wrap up, and the presentation that I have, it pretty much explains how the machine works. We also have a video to go with it, so I could also share that. As I indicated, it's pretty new to the market, and so we are trying to introduce it to as many hospitals as possible. We have a few in the system, and we have very flexible payment arrangement as well. One unit currently is retailing for around 51,200 Ghana cedis. But of course, if you are buying 5 or more, we have a very generous discount of close to almost about 20% off that we are currently giving to various hospitals and facilities that want to procure them. And all our equipment always comes with 2 years warranty. It comes with free installation, free training, and orientation for the team that will work on it. And we also have enough spare parts to be able to change the tubings, the cannula, setup, so just to ensure that you have the necessary support with the equipment. As I indicated, it comes with 2 years warranty. Every 6 months, we do a visit to make sure that the equipment is performing the way it ought to perform, and you have the necessary support system to be able to get the maximum benefits out of the equipment. I think I want to pause here, and if there are any questions also, I'll be more than happy to take them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ankra. I'm sure during the Q&A session, if there are any questions, you'll be available to answer them. And then later on, we could also look at the video and then the slides and perhaps share with them.
Thank you. Well noted. Thank you very much.
Thank you also. So we'll also hear from Dr. Jemfi, who is the country rep. I'll kindly encourage everyone to mute their mics. If you are not speaking, kindly mute your mic. Dr. Jemfi.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gloria. I'm the clinical person for Swift Procure, a company that actually deals with the Pumani CPAP. And Pumani CPAP was made from normal. We have a couple of US team that went to Morocco and saw the bubble CPAP that we have been doing. You know, the one that we use the bottle we have a bottle, and then you connect your tubes with a three-way tap. So they visited Morocco, and then they saw what was being done, and it was very, very vital to the survival of the preterms who had come in with respiratory distress. So what they did was, in fact, for anyone who has used the bubble CPAP with using the Aprotec one, you'd realize that after a couple of hours, or for some people after a day or two, it doesn't work anymore. So what they did was they took the technology that we had already started here in Africa, sent it back to the US, had a team follow up, and then set the whole thing up, and then put in a pump. What they realized was wrong with our setup that we were doing was because we didn't have any pump to sustain the effectiveness of the setup that we had done. So what they did was they set up our own bubble CPAP. They put in a pump to maintain the CPAP that we had done, and then they put it in a case and then covered it up. So what you do is it's a very, very simple setup. You put the machine down, you follow the instructions, and then connect it just like we do here. And then you turn your saturations, and then you are up and running, and you have your bubble CPAP set up with a pump in there to sustain the machine that you have created. So the Pumani CPAP, we started selling Pumani CPAP about 3 years ago. We have so far sold 50 machines, and we have a new consignment that is coming in, that is 100 machines. We've sold to quite a number of hospitals, both private and public hospitals. And we are still doing well. Initially, we had the challenge with technical support, but currently we have a team on standby that provides technical support for just in case you need something to be done on the machine for you. So the price for one is going for, when we started selling, we sold for 9,000 cedis. Now, because of the dollar rate and because we are importing, one machine is going for around 14,000 cedis. And it comes in with accessories and extra. I'm sorry about that. We have extra support, I'm sorry about the noise. We have extra support for the machine if you need it. We have training videos, and we have telemedicine assistance for if you need anything. We have had one webinar that invited all those who had purchased from us to ask the manufacturer themselves any questions they want, and then we call it the troubleshoot webinar, and then all your questions can be answered for you. We have a feedback system whereby you tell us what we can do better, and we get it done for you. So the last webinar, we had a FIA Panther participating actively, and also we had Holy Family Hospital in Techiman also participating fully in that webinar. Their suggestions were taken, and we hope the new machines that are coming would have some of the new inputs that they have done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jempi. We have a few minutes to take any questions on any of the presentations done so far. Dr. Ifwa Jempi spoke about the KMC setup in their hospital, and we've had two people also talking about their CPAP products or CPAP that they supply. So if you have any question, you can raise up your hands, and then you'll be called to speak. You can also type your questions in the chat box. It will be read out and then addressed. Okay, Dr. Isabella Segomoses, I've seen your hand up. Please ask your question or your comments if you have a comment to make.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mine is a comment. I just want to congratulate the Eastern Region team for setting up this Center of Excellence for KMC. It makes us very proud at the national level. When we had the opportunity to select a site for a center of excellence, and we agreed to go with Porphyria. There were dissenting views from the team at Bogota, but we stood our grounds, and we are very happy we did. I say kudos to them and continue the good work. And I'm very happy that they are taking up this initiative to support other regions to set up centers also. We are here to support in whatever way you think we can. Thank you very much. Over.
Thank you, Dr. Sigomoses. There's also a question in the chat box. Somebody wants to know if there is any payment plan for the Humani CPAP, or they have to pay, if they have to pay everything, or they can pay in installments. So Dr. Jemfi, they want to know the payment plan.
There's a payment plan for up to 1 year. If your facility even wants to pay in 2 years, there'll be a payment plan available where you pay monthly until you complete payments. Terms and conditions apply, but we are always open for negotiation. The primary focus for Swiss Procure is not to make very, very huge profits. No, the primary focus for us is for everybody to get the equipment they need to function as a pediatric center. And that was the main reason why the company was set up, to bring in equipment and consumables that were on a normal day not available for pediatricians to work. So if you have any payments plan you want, currently we have payments plan up to 1 year, because that is what previous facilities have asked for. We started for 3 months, 6 months. Some people even say, okay, we want to pick the machine and pay everything after 6 months because of the procurement laws. We are always open for negotiations and for a discussion on what will be available, what will be best for the facility.
Okay. If somebody who has the money to also buy on the spot, how much does it cost? Somebody asked in the chat box.
Yes, that is 14,000. Yes, for one machine.
Okay. So, Mr. Ankara, can you also address that question? Do you have a payment plan for Dolphin CPAP? And then how much does it cost if somebody has the money to pay upfront? Mr. Ankara. Okay. I think he probably is not on it. Somebody is also asking about the nasal prongs. He says that he uses the CPAP machine. He didn't state which type, but he's complaining that the nasal prong is too big and it makes it difficult to use for extreme preterms.
So the nasal prongs that come with the machine have 6 different sizes. We have the size 000, which is for the extreme preterms, size 0, size 1, 2, 3, and I think 4. Now, what happened with most people is that they lose some of the nasal prongs. In fact, almost every facility lose their nasal prongs, the smallest one. I don't know how it happens, but they tend to lose it a lot. And because they don't use the big ones, the big ones are always left there. Because of that, the company has imported 50 extra size 000 nasal prongs only for the extreme preterms. So for any facility that has the machine but has lost their size 000, we have extra 6 in a pack, only 000, and then you can just buy extra. Okay. And it costs 500 cedis for the pack of 6.
Okay. Thank you. Someone also wants to know, Dr. Asante Kwabia wants to know if you involve the local traditional authorities in the KM clinics, to help deal with issues of ASFAM.
Currently not yet, but we do have online outreaches that we do. So we have a partner with Sunrise FM, and we go there. I think some Thursdays, most of the time on Mondays, to discuss some of these issues as well. And then we have well, not a queen mother per se, but we call her the queen of fabrics. So she's the queen of our main market area. And then we hold discussions with her and try to involve her in a lot of things that we do. But most of the time, she comes in handy when we go to the marketplace to do our teachings and our outreaches. Yes, that's when she comes in. But on regular days, when we do the radio presentations and all, it is just as the health practitioners. And then sometimes we have the mothers tagging along to help with the education. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Someone wanted to see a picture of the machine, but I think it will not be possible now. There was a hand up. Stephen Abani, I think that will be our last person, and then we would be wrapping up. So Stephen, you have the floor. Okay, Stephen is not talking, so I'll read the last question from the chat box. They want to know, okay, Dr. Jeffy, thanks for the initiative. My facility has a small but an active MBU, Winneba Municipal Hospital. Would you recommend how a facility like mine can start in view of wanting to start the KMC clinic? And then I think the last one has been addressed, the smaller prongs for the Humani CPAP. If you want to address the first question.
Hello.
Dr. Jeffy, yes, now we can hear you.
Yes, this is Stephen. Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So to start the clinic, you would first need to come to the facility to look at the setup that we have. In fact, it's a series of presentations. We first need to take you through the care for the newborn, the low birth weight baby, the preterm baby. We need to take you through the stages, what it means to do a full, we need to take you through the components of kangaroo mother care. And they need to know how to manage them as an inpatient, how to run your follow-up clinics. So usually the protocol that we have in place now is that we invite you to bring some focal team members to the facility. We'll use 1 week to do the clinical presentations for you, the teachings. And then whilst we are going to do the training alongside. So we have our clinic days, the inpatient days are all the time. And then afterwards, the facilitators will move with you to your facility, help you identify areas that you can create the system that you have come to learn. And then we will help you set up your clinic and how to collect data. You see, it is not just about running the clinic or just tying up the baby. You also need to take your data, how to take the data, to record what ailments, everything. We have our record sheets. What do you mean to discharge the patients when they come to the clinic, the things you are recording and all. So we have our books, we have our module. So you come and learn the module and then you take it to your site, look at how your place is structured and then set up. And then from time to time, we'll be coming over to see how you are doing and then you'll be sharing your data, like what the data you are collecting until you are comfortable to completely be on your own. That is the protocol we have set now. So through Pediatric Society, we'll let you know when we are ready to kickstart. I think we already have some facilities. That is Agogo Presby Hospital, Sunyane Regional Hospital, and then Holy Family Brekum. I think those are the 3 facilities we are going to start with for the training. And then after we are done, we would send notices around for other facilities also to come in. We are taking it facility by facility mainly because of the COVID, because of COVID, so that we don't have so many people in one room, and so that we can have just a few people going through the protocols and attending to the patients as well.
Thank you.
I hope I answered your question.
Yes, I think
Yes.
you
And then
did.
that's a picture of the Pumani CPAP.
Yes. So Comfort, you can also contact your regional rep to also talk to Dr. Jenfi to see how you can plan something, how her team can
Well,
help.
you can also involve your regional focal person for newborn focal person, and they can all get in touch with Dr. Jocelyn Estibe, who is the focal person for the Eastern Regional Hospital, to help with the coordination.
Okay, thank you. So last
Thank
question,
you.
Stephen, you
Yes.
can ask your
Good.
question now. That will be it. All right.
Okay. Good evening and thanks a lot. Please, I want to find out whether there's any material to be given after the presentation, because I joined quite late and I don't want to drag you people back.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Type in your email address in the chat box, and then would get back to you.
Okay.
After this. All right. So the
And then maybe if you could add a contact.
All right. So Dr. Joyce Lane Esibe is with Holy Family Hospital. She's the pediatrician at Holy Family Hospital, Techiman, and she co-chairs the planning committee with me. She would give us a few words. After that, we'll get the closing remarks from our chairperson, and then we'll call it a day. So Dr. Esibe, over to you. Dr. Sibe? Hello? Okay. Dr. Joycelyn Esibe is a pediatrician at Holy Family Hospital, Techiman, and she is part of the planning committee for prematurity awareness this year. She has a few words to share with us. So, Dr. Esibe, you have the floor. Okay, so I think we've lost 10. Basically, what we would want you to know as a committee is that we have a lot of things in store for you this month. This is just the beginning. With when we are done with today's program, we have another one on Wednesday next week, which is 17th November. We have a presentation on prematurity. So the presenters are going to talk about the problems of premature babies and then what we can do to help them. Also on the, so that's going to be handled by Central Region. And then on Friday, 26th November, we are going to have a health workers training on the long-term complications of preterm babies and their management. That will also be handled by Bono and then Upper West PSG. And then on 3rd December, which is also a Friday, we are going to have a public forum, and the highlights will be on support group for mothers. This time we want to end the awareness with how to set up a support group for mothers of preterm babies. We've realized that it helps a lot. We have the example from Greater Accra Regional Hospital. So they are going to also tell us how they set it up and how it's doing and what we can also do at our facilities. So we have a lot for you this month, and always try to be part of our programs. And I know that the various regions have also started doing their health education at the various radio stations and in their hospitals. So thank you all so much for what you are doing, and then for also joining us for today. We'll take our closing remarks from our chairperson, Dr. Jocelyn Esibe, the pediatrician at Eastern Regional Hospital.
Okay, thank you very much, Gloria. I want to say, I think this session has really been insightful. Thanks for the presentation from Eastern Region, which I'm proudly a part of. And what is so important is the teamwork. I think the teamwork has helped the KMC clinic. The commitment on each one's part has really helped. And then most importantly is the psychological support for the mothers of preterms. I think it's also important for managing our preterms. And thanks to our presenters too on the CPAP, which I will ask each facility to impress on their managers to get at least one for their facilities. It's so sad that the pediatric unit, and most unfortunately the preterms are almost left out of planning, but I think we need to impress on our managers to get the CPAP for respiratory support for our preterms. Thank you to planning committee for the wonderful work and the other presentations ahead. Thanks to everyone for your time. Have a nice evening. Over to you, Gloria.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We would end our program with a closing prayer. We thank you, our Father in heaven, for how successful you have made this program. We pray that you help us to use the knowledge to help our preterm babies in everything that we do. We pray that may you also help those who couldn't join us this time to join the next program. Thank you so much for what you've done for us. In the name of Jesus, we prayed. Amen. So thank you all so much. See you again
Amen.
on Wednesday, the 17th of November.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.